Right? Okay. Well, I have to wait for 3 moments. Okay. Uh, well, Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It's me, Michael Cesar Di Santa. I am here with you and to welcome you to our channel, Sheikh Afghan Jelebi Michael Cesar Di Santa. As a thumbnail, forgot thumbnail, as as a title, you can see it that we are roasting Almas Jacob on the same topic in different live streams. Well, it is the second live streams as we know that. Okay. Now let's see. Now let's check that why I am roasting the second points as we can see. Okay. We know that there are some problems we have to face. Well, and we can see there is some points we have to face and we have to have some problems. Let's face it. Okay. And now. Well, now today's topic is biological geocentric versus scientific heliocentric. And now, the start with that, Almas Jacob believed that she does not believe in science. She believes only on the Holy Bibles. Uh, Well, I have a proof. Perhaps the proof is it is potentially is that the proof is to be deleted. And what was the effect? The effect was that Almas Jacob has known that we are talking about the scientific points and we are debunking Almas Jacobs. Therefore, some technical persons are trying to remove my erase my some segments of the live streams. Well, we can, but now still we are not to be we are not to be stoppables. Well, let's see it, find it. हमको कोट किया. Okay. वीडियोस आपको चला जा रहा है. Well, now here is today's point is that is our solar system is really heliocentric or geocentric? Let's find out. Okay. But now here we go. I want to try to say everything as a scientific.
हम साइंस के ऊपर तो बिलीव ही नहीं करते, तो हम खुदा के कलाम में से देख लेते हैं. तो खुदा के कलाम में प्रोफेसी.
Okay. Here is Almas Jacob points. Well, Almas Jacob says that she does not believe in science. Okay. I know that Almas Jacob, you does not believe in science. Well, what is our points that you does not believe in science? We have a points. Okay. Well, perhaps you have deleted the video to disprove that Apollo 11 mission moon was fake. That was the content in your video. But recently, I mean, 1 year earlier, you delete your video. Well, let me appreciate. But the problem is that you delete the video only because that you are afraid that we are roasting here to the same points. Well, uh, now let's find out. Well, we can have a points. As we can see, well, here we can have a points. Well, now let's find out. What is the second points of Almas Jacob to prove that NASA mission moon was fake? The second point to prove that NASA mission moon, Apollo 11 mission moon to be fake, Almas Jacob's second proof is that Almas Jacob want to see every stars on the night sky in the camera of in the camera of 36 pixels. Okay. Now here we can see that now here we can see that if well, I am here in front of the live stream camera. Well, if when I am 3 meters away from my camera, front camera, well, if the camera is 144 pixels, there cannot be any data about me. Well, when there can be any data about me, well, you cannot see me what is I am. In the data points that you can what is I am, you cannot see me in 144 pixel video or 144 pixel live streaming. Now the problem is that Almas Jacob want to see in an image of 1969. Almas Jacob want to see 1,000 stars on the night sky in the with the camera of 36 pixels. Well, in 1969, well, 36 pixel was a revolutionary camera. Well, even in 2002, 144 pixel was a revolutionary camera. But still, nowadays, you cannot see me if I am in front. I am 3 meters away of my camera and the live stream is 144 pixels. Yes, but Almas Jacob want to see 1,000 stars where every star is 500 or 5 million light century away from the camera of Apple 11 where resolution is 36. Still Almas Jacob want to see that points. Well, now I would like to roast the points in the different angles. Okay. When I was roasting that points, Almas Jacob, Well, I am roasting every scientific element. And Almas Jacob was afraid that now I am a biggest enemy of Almas Jacob, as Almas Jacob can see. Okay, here is the first point. Well, in 2021, I can see it. And now, let me see the second points. Here is go. Okay. Well, it is the different options, well, now here is my favorite YouTube channels, Get Set Fly Science by Gaurav Thakur. Well, now I am searching a video with the keyword of Almas Jacob. Okay. Now I hope the video would be deleted by sir. Okay. It was in Hindi. You can see. I know why. Okay. Perhaps the video has been deleted. Okay. Now here is topic of Illuminati. Now let's see. Well, here is topic about Illuminati. Well, this was the topics. Here Illuminati scam exposed. Mysterious Illuminati society truth. Well, and now in the here is the point. Three video is mentioned by Geocentrism Fly Gaurav Thakur sir. Well, first two video, the topic was about Illuminati. Well, first two video is nothing person, just Illuminati research. But the third video was the content to roast Almas Jacob and the video. Well, in three videos, well, Almas Jacob of say every nonsense about our Geocentrism Fly Gaurav Thakur sir. Well, where is the points? The period was 6 years earlier. That means, well, it is 2018, like that. Still, in that time, I used to believe that Geocentrism like Gaurav Thakur sir is right on his scientific angle, and Almas Jacob was right on the religious angle. But now, when I started to roast Almas Jacob, now I am researching her complete video and find out Almas Jacob was totally wrong in the real life. Now there is why Almas Jacob say, I do not believe in science, because well, 6 years now we know that there is the calendar of 2025. Well, now this is the calendar of 2025. Well, 2018, 6 years earlier, well, Almas Jacob contains different channels named We Are Watchers. Okay. We Are Watchers. Well, her every religious content is totally wrong. Well, Now you can see me in my playlist that when as an evolution theory, I have said that I have debunked Almas Jacob in every tense. Well, now science does not say what Almas Jacob believes. Therefore, Almas Jacob said that she does not believe in science. Now let's find out. What is the second part? Okay. Uh, well, in 10 minutes points, we can see that we have 15 minutes.
की गई थी। यीशु मसीह ने फरमाया कि अंत के दिनों में यीशु मसीह के वापस आने से पहले बरगुज़ीदों की खातिर दिन घटाए जाएंगे, और अगर दिन घटाए ना जाते तो कोई बंदा बशर ना बचता। तो जनाब, इस तरह की वीडियोस आपको सोशल मीडिया के ऊपर बहुत सारी देखने को मिल रही होंगी कि जमीन तेजी से घूमना शुरू होगी, इसकी वजह से दिन छोटे हो गए। जी नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। क्या है हकीकत, और इस कलाम को कोट किया जाता है, वर्ड्स को कोट किया जाता है, इसका असल मतलब क्या है, वो आज की वीडियो में आपको बताने वाला हूं। जमीन के तेज तेज घूमने से क्या टाइम तेजी से गुजर रहा है? तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। आप नोट करें कि आपकी घड़ी के अंदर अगर 24 घंटे का एक दिन होता है तो दिन में घंटे कम नहीं हो रहे हैं, 24 घंटे का ही दिन है। और अगर हम ये देखें कि जमीन की स्पीड तेज हो जाने से क्या हमारी जो घड़ी है उसकी भी स्पीड तेज हो जाती है? क्या हमारी घड़ी की स्पीड
Well, here is the second point. Uh,
स्पीड जो है वो जमीन की
well, it is the another life streams we would like to say. Okay.
के दिन घटाए जाएंगे, इसका क्या मतलब है? इसका मतलब मैं आगे चलकर आपको बताता हूं, लेकिन उससे पहले मैं आपको ये बताना चाहता हूं, अगर आप बाइबल के स्टूडेंट हैं, अगर आप खुदा के कलाम को पढ़ने वाले हैं, अगर आप खुद को मसीही कहते हैं, तो हम साइंस की इस थ्योरी के ऊपर बिलीव ही नहीं करते कि जमीन जो है वो सूरज के गिर्द घूमती है। ये
Well, now you can see that why biblical student is absolutely wrong. Okay. Now you can see that Almas Jacob said that if we are student of a biblical college or biblical school or biblical universities like Aleister Crowley, well, we have to believe that Earth does not orbit around the sun. Moreover, sun orbits around the Earth. Okay. And now here is a geocentrism and heliocentrism. We can say that. Okay. Well, just for 2 minutes. And I hope we have to have a points. Well, now let's see what is our focus. Well, heliocentrism or now let's see as our social system. Let us the definition say what is the definition of heliocentrism and what is the definition of geocentrism. Well, in accordance with social system, well, geocentrism means that every planets and every satellite and even sun being a star would orbit around the earth. Okay. In there we can say that sun orbits around the earth. Here is the parts. Well, sun Jupiter orbits around the earth. Well, Mars orbits around the earth. Well, Venus orbits around the earth. Well, you can see that uh, Mercury orbits around the Earth, Neptune orbits around the Earth, here is a pop, and Jupiter orbits around the Earth. Here is the belief about the, well, even Saturn orbits around the Earth. Here is the technical points. Well, it is the definition of geocentrism. Well, now what is heliocentrism? Well, heliocentrism is that every planet orbits around the sun. Sun is the center as he is a star. Well, and every satellite orbits around their own planets. Okay. For examples, Saturn, the satellites of Saturn orbits around the Saturn planets. The satellites of Jupiter orbits around the Jupiter planets. The satellite of Mars orbits around the Mars planets. Well, the satellite of Earth, that is Moon, that orbit around the Earth planet. And every satellite orbits around the Sun, the star. Here is the reality, and that is the heliocentric, that is scientific. Well, and now you can see that the several biblical students like Almas Jacob does not believe the heliocentrism solar system. Well, but now, well, we can see that everything is a gravitational wave. Now look at the points. And well, now here we can see what is the points. Okay. Well, now let me see the points. Here is heliocentric. Well, and according with heliocentric, every satellite orbits around her own planets. Here you can, and every star, every planet orbits around their sun, and she is a star. Well, here is completely good. Well, every orbit is here is a system is like a good, but only that on the other. Let me see what is about the geocentrism. Well, as we can see the geocentrism. Well, here we can see only sun can orbit around the earth with the systematically, but Jupiter's orbits around the earth system, there has no system. Well, Mercury orbits around the earth. It contains no system. Even we can see that Neptune orbits around the earth. There is orbitization contains no system. Now, well, As we can say that, well, as we can say, Almas Jacob say, says the she believes the biblical word, that is, she believes a biblical solar system, that is geocentric solar system. And now let me see, well, both of my wife and me is on the space. Well, we are 10 meters away from each other. Well, my wife Jonah Petra contains 80 kilograms and I contains 60 kilograms. Well, now as a gravitational point, I have a question that who would orbit around whom? Who would be the center of the gravitation on gravity orbit systems, and who would orbit around the center? Okay. Well, my weight is 60 kilograms and my wife Jonah Petra contains a weight of 80 kilograms and our distance is 10 meters. In the space, there is a point that I would orbit around my wife, because accordance with Newton gravity law, well, accordance with the Newton gravity law, I would orbit around Earth. Well, in the space, me and my wife Jonah Petra will attack each other with a gravitational force as a center, between our centers, and in that case, gravitational force can be calculated accordance with the weight of me and Jonah Petra, my wife Jonah Petra, and the distance of our center. Okay. The distance between our centers. And now, here is the catch. Well, Almas Jacob skipped the parts of. It is a very simple point Almas Jacob could not understand. Therefore, Almas Jacob does not believe that what is the real world. Okay. Now we can say that why Almas Jacob does not believe that what is the confidential and what is our estimations and what is our technology and what is our gravitational science. Well, and accordance with Sir Isaac Newton, we can see when my weight is 60 kilograms and Jonah Petra's weight would be 80 kilograms, I would orbit around my wife Jonah Petra, well, at the space, because that is the gravitational science. Well, here is our that is the gravity. It is the explanation. We have a clear explanations. But accordance with Almas Jacob, you can see it Almas Jacob believe in geocentric. Well, according to Almas Jacob biblical solar system, well, in the space, my weight is 60 kilograms, and my wife Jonah Petra contest weight of 80 kilograms. Well, accordance with Almas Jacob, I have to okay, I have to wear I have to be I have to be gravity center. Well, my wife Jonah Petra has to be orbit around me, according with Almas Jacob, because accordance with Almas Jacob, because you can say that accordance with Almas Jacob, I am a 60 kilogram words. I am a 60 kilogram woman. My wife Jonah Petra is 80 kilogram woman. Well, according with Almas Jacob, she would orbit around me. But in reality, that is opposite. Well, and now I would like to say the second demonstrations. Well, let me say I have 4 demonstrations for that. Well, now I have set up the scenario number 0. Okay. Scenario number 1. Well, in space we are 2 persons, me, Michaela Caesar Santa, and my celebrity Robert Downey Jr. Okay, he is my celebrity. Both of us contains weight of 60 kilograms separately. Robert Downey Jr. contains weight of 60 kilograms, and my contents is 60 kilograms. Well, accordance with Almas Jacob, well, in space, I would orbit around Robert Downey Jr. or Robert Downey Jr. would orbit around me, because my weight is 60 kilograms and Robert Downey Jr. weight is 60 kilograms. Well, because I am a Muslim here, and I am a Muslim, and I would prefer myself as a Muslim religious. Well, according with Robert Downey Jr., well, according with Almas Jacob, Robert Downey Jr. would orbit around me, just because according with Almas Jacob Geocentric solar system theory, Robert Downey Jr. is atheist Jewish, and I am a religious Muslim. Hence, notwithstanding, Robert Downey Jr. contains same weight as me, and my weight is 60 kilograms. Robert Downey Jr. would orbit around me. Well, but reality is opposite. Neither I orbit around Robert Downey Jr. nor Robert Downey Jr. orbits around me. Both of we and Robert Downey Jr. are orbit around the center between the center of the distance between me and Robert Downey Jr. Sorry. And here is my heliocentric. Well, what happens is that, well, accordance with accordance with heliocentric solar systems. Well, accordance with the heliocentric solar system, Robert, since me and Robert Downey Jr. contains a same weight and Robert Downey Jr. contains 60 kilograms, hence both of we and Robert Downey Jr. would orbit around the center of the distance between me and Robert Downey Jr. Well, here is it works accordance with the gravitational science. The gravitational equations invented by Sir Isaac Newton, but notwithstanding a pride of England, well, notwithstanding Sir Isaac Newton being the pride of England, Almas Jacob does not believe the education of Sir Isaac Newton. She would believe the scandal of England, Aleister Crowley. Well, now why am I saying Aleister Crowley a scandal of England? Well, now let me see. When you and me would study the religious bachelor in religious study, masters in religious study, or PhD in religious study in the different countries. Well, if I am a Muslim, I would study in Iran, I would study in Iraq, well, I would study in Sudan, well, I would study in Egypt, and I would study in Libya. But when I would be a Christian, and I would study in Masters of Christian Study or Bachelor of Christian Study or PhD on Christian Study, and I have to go to the foreign countries. Well, as a Christian woman, I would study in Germany, I would study in Russia, I would study in Argentina, I would study in South Africa, well, and the previous for 100 years ago, well, I would study in England as an Oxford University. Well, wait a minute. Perhaps my Christian beliefs has been at stake in Oxford University. Okay, let me go. I would study in France and I would study in Spain. But in 1905, when Oxford University is the best university of the world, well, Oxford University is the best university Oxford University as the best university only for educational studies, and still it is England, and Aleister Crowley, as we know, born in England and a Christian pastor of England, but she did a study in the PhD about the Christian study in where? Egypt, University of Egypt, and as we can see, the University of and Almas Jacob Crowley is the celebrity of Almas Jacob. Okay, now Crowley when Crowley can be the celebrity of Almas Jacob, it is a great problem. Well, as we Arthian Christian and person, as an Arthian, well, we Almas Jacob believe in geocentric solar systems. Okay, let me have a 2 minutes. Well, I have to go somewhere. Well, just 30 seconds. Well, are you ready about me? Just I have to come here in 2 minutes, but as an effect, I have to answer the house ring. Okay, well, now you can see that, well, everybody is here. Well, well, now you can see, here is the points, everybody around the world. Well, now we have talking about discussing about scenario number 0. We have talking about scenario number 1, and we are talking about and now we are talking about scenario number 2. Well, here is a Hollywood actress. She's a fattest woman. Well, I have no idea what would be her name. Well, let me see what is her name. Her name would be Gandaswamy. Okay. Well, her name would be Gandaswamy. Well, Gandaswamy's weight is 200 kilograms, and my weight is 60 kilograms. Okay, now you can see, as we know, Almas Jacob and the students of Almas Jacob believes in what? Almas Jacob, the students of Almas Jacob and the supporters of Almas Jacob believes in Bible. They does not believe in science. Okay. In that case, Gandaswamy, well, when she does not believe in science, but they believe in religions, that means Bibles, Well, according to Bibles, Genta Swami would orbit around me. Okay. Genta Swami would orbit around me just because, according with the Almas Jacob Geocentric, since Genta Swami weight is 200 kilograms and my weight is 60 kilograms, Genta Swami would orbit around me on the space. Well, since Genta Swami would orbit around my space just because her weight is 200 kilograms and my weight is 60 kilograms. Well, she is almost 3 times overweighted than me. This is the concept of geocentric accordance with the supporters of Holy Almas Jacob with the Holy Bibles. Well, that means biblical geocentric solar system, that would say the Genda Swami would orbit around me. But in the real life, accordance with the actual solar system, I would orbit around Genda Swami. Why? I would orbit around Genda Swami just because Genda Swami weight is 200 kilograms and my weight is 60 kilograms. According to the gravitational law, I would orbit around Genda Swami. That is the heliocentric. Okay. What would Almas Jacob understand? I don't know. But I understand that Almas Jacob is an idiot, as we can see. Well, and now, before I would go to the fourth scenario, let me introduce you an actual points. Well, Alhamdulillah, 48 minutes has been won, but I don't know what would Almas Jacob would have a chance. Well, and I don't believe about the Almas Jacob points. Well, now here we can see, well, this is the planet of Jupiter. The weight is, this is the weight of Jupiter, that is almost 2 into 10 to the power 27 kilograms, that means 2e27. Well, this is the weight of Sun, the star. Weight is actually approximately 2e30 kilograms, and now this is the weight of Earth, that is 5e24 kilograms. Okay. Well, now Well, let's have the real concern, and we would like to say what would happen on us. Well, according with 10 minutes, our live stream can be automatically interrupted just because of the lack of internet. Okay, 6E24. Well, the Earth weight is almost 6E24. Okay. And the Sun weight is just 2E30. Okay. Well, 1E29 minus 1E bracket of 29 minus 24, that means 1E5. Okay. 20 divided by 6, that means 3.33. Okay, 3.33. Well, Sun is, now look at C. Sun, the star is, let me see what is the voice of Almas Jacob. Well, 3,33,333 times and heavier than the Earth planet. Okay, and now let me now you have seen that what is the weight of the Jupiter. Well, the weight of Jupiter is almost 2E27 kilograms. Now let's calculate. 1E bracket of 29 minus 27, that is means 1E2. Well, 20 divided by 2, that means 1. Well, 1E3. Sun is 100 times heavier than the Jupiter planet, where Jupiter planet is the most heaviest planet of the solar system. Well, we know there is 9 planets: Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Earth, Saturn, Mars, Uranus, Neptune and Pluto. Okay. Now you can see that, well, if Pluto can orbit around the Sun, Earth, it would be fine, because Pluto is look like a moon satellite. But the problem is that, well, where there is the happiest planet between the 9 planets of the solar system is Jupiter. Now our question is, what were the logic that Sun would orbit around the Earth planet? Here is our question. Even we know that even the Sun, Jupiter, well, it would be common. Well, now we can have a logical fallacy. I mean, the logical imagination we can contest that the Sun would orbit around the Jupiter, because Jupiter is the happiest planet of the solar systems. Yes. And now let me check what is the difference between the Jupiter planet and the Earth planet. Now let me calculate. Okay. The planet of Jupiter, what is the weight of planet Jupiter? That is almost 2e. Well, that is almost there. What we can say? 2e 27 kilograms. Well, 2e 27 kilograms. And now let me see what is the Jupiter weight of Earth. That is 6e 24 kilograms. Well, now 2e 27 kilograms means 20e 26 kilograms. Now let me see that 1e bracket of 24 minus, well, 26 minus 24. Well, that is 2. Okay. Now, well, here would be, that is 2. Well, right? 2, 1e2. And now let's divide 20 by 6. What would be that? 3.333. Something like that. And now let me we can say that Jupiter planet is 333 times heavier than the well, Jupiter planet is 3 times heavier than the Earth planet. Well, and we can clear, and sun, the star is 100 times heavier than the Jupiter planet. Now, now here our common sense does not work. That how can the sun, the star, and the Jupiter planet orbit around the Earth in the geocentric solar system theory? Well, it does not make sense. And now here we can see, well, here is the common sense fallacy we can see. Well, it is 419. Okay. Now here we can see it is the Jupiter planet and it is the sun and center is Earth. It is the geocentric. And now the problem is that when sun orbits around the Earth, well, it is a clearly a circle orbitals. But when Jupiter orbit around the Earth, well, we cannot see there a circle orbit. We cannot see. But according with the gravitational law, even every common sense that if you orbit around me on the space, your orbitational path would be circles. Well, now you can see that where is the circle points? We can here we can see the geocentrism. Well, geocentrism here is the points that, well, according with Almas Jacob, here we can see geocentric when Jupiter orbits around the Earth, this is not a circular orbit. This is not an orbit circles. Well, perhaps here is a probability that 66% times Jupiter would be out of orbit circle of the Earth planet, and sometimes in 33% times Jupiter planet would be closer to Earth than the orbital circles, gravitational orbital circles, accordance with biblical geocentric. And now here we can see what would happen with that. Jupiter planet would behave like that. Here was no explanation. Before the Galileo Galilei, here was no explanation that how geocentric Earth and how geocentric solar systems behaves like a unethical or just abnormals. Well, here that is look like ugly points, but still we can see Isaac Newton calculated how Jupiter planet contains the weight and how Earth planet contains the weight and how Sun the star can contains the weight. Well, here you can see that Sun is 3,33,333 times heavier than Earth, and Jupiter is 333 times heavier than Earth. Well, now let me have a question. Where is the logic in geocentric? We don't have any logic. Okay. And now here we can see that we have a points to have a belief. Now here we can have the last scenario, and here is that, well, she's my wife, Jonah Petra, and she's a Hollywood actress. Her code name is, she's a fattest woman, and her code name is Genda Swami, and he is my favorite celebrity, Robert Downey Jr. And now, as a demonstration, we can check that Jonah Petra's weight is 80 kilograms. Robert Downey Jr. contains weight of 60 kilograms, and Genda Swami contains weight of 200 kilograms. Okay. Well, now we don't believe in body shaming, we don't believe in weight shaming, but it would be okay accordance with gravitational orbit explanations. Okay. Now here we can now accordance with the biblical, accordance with a biblical geocentric solar system theory, well, Robert Downey Jr. should contain the, Robert Downey Jr. should be the center of the gravitational orbital system on the space, and my wife Jonah Petra and Genda Swami would orbit around the Earth orbit around the Robert Downey Jr. What was the explanation? Explanation is that uh, my wife is a woman and Genda Swami is also a woman, but Robert Downey Jr. is a man. Here is first point. And the second point is Robert Downey Jr. contains weight of 60 kilograms, Genda Swami contains weight of 200 kilograms, and Joya Petra weight contains the weight of 80 kilograms. Okay. Now here we can see accordance with Almas Jacob biblical geocentric solar systems. Well, Robert Downey Jr. would be the center, and Genda Swami and my wife Jona Petra would orbit around him, while Genda Swami contains 3.33 times weight than Robert Downey Jr. Well, and okay, 18680. Well, and Jona Petra contains 1.33 times weight than Robert Downey Jr. Well, still, Jona Petra and Genda Swami would orbit would orbit around Robert Downey Jr.'s accordance with Almas Jacob biblical geocentric solar systems. But what is the reality? The reality is totally opposite. The reality is Genda Swami contains weight of 200 kilometers, Jona Petra contains weight of 80 kilometers, and Robert Downey Jr. contains weight of 60 kilometers or kilograms. Well, accordance with the weight of 3%, well, both of Robert Downey Jr. and Jona Petra would orbit around Genda Swami. Okay. And here is the logical point of heliocentric. Okay. Perhaps we would going to the copyright points, and now I can see that Almas Jacob is hitting us with the points. Okay, now let's let's see what is in Hindi.
हीलियोसेंट्रिज्म है। हीलियोसेंट्रिज्म के अंदर कहा जाता है कि सूरज दरमियान में है और जो जमीन और बाकी सियारे हैं वो सारे सूरज के गिर्द घूमते हैं। ये साइंस कहती है इसके बारे में, जबकि खुदा के कलाम के मुताबिक हमें जियोसेंट्रिज्म मानना चाहिए। उसकी रीजन ये है कि खुदा का कलाम कहता है कि जमीन के गिर्द ये सब कुछ घूमते हैं, सूरज, चांद, सितारे। और आप
ओके, एंड नाउ well, where is Almas Jacob logic works? Genda Swami weight is 200 kilograms, Jona Petra weight 80 kilograms, and Robert Downey Jr. weighs 60 kilograms. Well, we have seen that both of Robert Downey Jr. and Jona Petra orbits around Genda Swami. Where's the logic? And as the logic, we can see that. Okay. And now we can see that Jupiter weight is The larger red circle is Jupiter planet. And now let's see that Jupiter planet contains 333 times weight than the Earth planet, and as you can see, the Sun contains 3,33,333 times heavy weight than the Earth. Then how can we believe in geocentrism? Because according with geocentrism, there is no common sense.
ये सोचते हैं कि जमीन घूम रही है, तो मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं, ये शायद आपके लिए शॉकिंग हो, जमीन बिल्कुल भी नहीं घूम रही है, क्योंकि जमीन अपनी जगह पर साकिन है, बाकी सारी चीजें उसके चौगिर्द घूमती हैं। इसके सबूत के तौर पर हम पैदाइश की किताब पहले बाब में चले जाते हैं, और अगर आप क्रिएशन को देखें, 7 दिन में खुदा ने जमीन और आसमान को तख्लीक किया, उसमें तीसरे दिन देखें खुदा ने क्या किया। गॉड क्रिएटेड ड्राई लैंड्स एंड सीज and then commanded the earth to produce vegetation including plants and trees, जिसका सीधा सीधा मतलब ये है कि जमीन मौजूद थी और जमीन के ऊपर पौधे भी थे, फल भी थे, सारा कुछ था, घास भी थी, लेकिन चौथे दिन जाकर खुदा ने सूरज, चांद और सितारे बनाए हैं, ताकि ये दिन और रात के फर्क करने के लिए, सीजन्स के फर्क करने के लिए, निशानों के लिए खुदा ने ये बनाए थे। और ये सूरज, चांद और सितारे जो हैं ये जमीन के गिर्द घूमते हैं, क्योंकि पहले दिन से ही इब्तदा में खुदा ने जमीन और आसमान को तख्लीक किया, और उसमें जमीन वीरान और सुनसान थी और गहराओं के ऊपर अंधेरा था, और खुदा की रूह पानी की सतह पर जुम्बिश करती थी। दूसरे दिन खुदा ने ऊपर के पानी को नीचे के पानी से जुदा किया, दरमियान
Okay. Well, now it's time to say the truth. Well, okay. Now, as we can say, well, Almas Jacob brains is the IQ level of Almas Jacob is less than cockroach, less than a mosquito, and less than a COVID-19 virus. Okay. Now, why I have said that? Well, Almas Jacob reporting the 7-day biblical explanation how Earth was created. Well, here we can see that. Well, I would not like supposed to show it, but I can see that the God created light and separated from the darkness, established day and night. Okay. Well, it is the Bible of Almas Jacob. God created a light. Well, we know that our God, well, our Islamic God is himself a special light. Our Islamic God, Allah is himself is a special light. Well, and our Allah created a light. Our Allah is himself a light. Now, according with Christians, still our question is that when our God is a light, okay, when our God is a light, how can he create a light? Okay. Oh. Well, Then you can see that the supporter of Almas Jacob can explain, well, intelligent supporter of Almas Jacob can explain that as we are human, nowadays we can create a second human, and that would be our clone. Okay? But the clone system was invented in 1947. Before that, clone system does not exist. Okay. Clone system does not exist in 2 lakh years. Well, clone system does not exist. What was the reason? The reason is that while closed system does not exist, well, in 2 lakh reason, well, the starting days of the past 2 lakh years, answer would be that gini gini mago sana, gini gini mugu sana. That means humans would be like ancient human as a half human. They are half human and half animals. Well, we modern human has been invented in 20,000 years earlier. 20,000 years earlier. Okay? As we modern human, almost 20,000 years, we cannot create any clone of us. Well, if the person has a similar face than my face, that means he wear already my silicon mask. Well, there was the event before 1947 that if the person contains similar face as my face, he definitely wears a silicon mask. Without silicon mask, his face cannot, any human face cannot be matched with me, cannot be 100% similar with me. Well, 66%, my face is 66% similar with my father, biological father, and my face is 33% similar with my mother. Well, and Jesus Christ resided in 34 AD. Well, clone was invented in 1946. The calendar of 1946. Well, 1946 subtracted by 34. That means 12. In the 1912 years, well, in 1912 years, well, day 1 was still a creation. Well, day 1 was still questionable that now if any human contains 100% similar face with me, my face, he definitely wear silicone mask. Here was that event was running into the 1912 years from the period when Jesus Christ has been resurrected. Well, here was the God. Well, God created light and separated it from darkness. Oh my Allah. Well, now here in a okay. Now let me see to have some points. Well, I would off my lights. Okay. Now in one, now I have switched off my lights. Now you can see that. Well, live stream in live stream after 1 hour 20 minutes later, I switch off my lights, and now here we can see. Here you can see the several darkness around me. Well, outside with still light because it was a day. Here we can see. And now you can see that when I switch off my bulb light, here we can see 30% light has been erased. Well, we can that means we can see 30% darkness. Okay. Now, according with science, the absence of darkness is light. Okay. Well, if now let me see, if I can generate a light, well, the darkness has been gone. But according with Almas Jacob, that light, when light created, God separated light from darkness. While we say that we know in scientifically, well, the definition of darkness is nothing but just absence of light. Okay. And in the place in here, well, in a city, if we can say the skylight, absence of skylight is night. Well, and the presence of lights on the sky, well, is a day. We don't talking about the reflected light on sky. Well, as a starlight on the sky, that is day, and the absence of starlight on sky, that means night. Well, Almas Jacob, in the Bible we can see that it established that God creates lights and separate from darkness, establish day and night. That means God has created the star, several star, and as you can say, God created the sun, the star, as the day one. Okay. Now let's see. God created the firmament, sky or atmosphere, separated the water from the water below. Well, that is working out because we cannot separate from water, separate between waters and waters. Because according to science, water is just a chemical formula of hydrogen dioxide. Well, now it can be separated hydrogen and oxygen, that would be okay, but separating water from waters, well, that not make a common sense, because both of the waters contains a chemical formula that is hydrogen dioxide. Okay. That means one water contains chemical formula of hydrogen dioxide. Another water definitely does not contain different chemical formula, right? Okay. And now, well, now what about day 3? In day 3, God created dry land and sea, and then command on earth to produce vegetation, including plant and trees. Okay. Well, we have no objection about the day 3. It is followed biblical. That's fine. But there is the controversy between biblical day 4 and biblical day 1. Okay. According with biblical day 4, just wait a moment. Well, according with biblical day 4, God created the sun, moon, and star to govern the day and night and to serve as sign for the seasons and years. Well, in our Indian Hindi, there was a written there was a sentence. The Hindi word was that ये क्या बकलोली दी है भाई? That means, what is the if nonsense? Because, well, biblical background of 7 days, we can clearly say, well, God created 2 suns. Well, as day 1, God created the first suns because he said that he established day and night on he established day and night in day 1. Well, in any planet, if there is day and night, that means in solar system, according with solar system, in biblical day 1, sun, the star, has been established, has been created. Well, according with day 3, God created dry lands and sea, then commands earth to produce vegetation, including plants and trees. Well, now we have a vegetables and our vegetables and every plant and trees has a photosynthesis. According with photosynthesis, they can be grown with the photosynthesis. Here is the way. But the confliction is that in day 3, God created dry lands and sea and commands the earth produce vegetation, including plants and trees. That means God created the living earth in day 3. But the day 4 that God created sun, moon and star, governed the day and night and seasons as a sign of the season and years. Okay. Well, That means here we can say, it is a totally controversial. God doesn't know what He has said in accordance with for day 1, and now what He is saying in day 4. Well, God established day and night. That means God has established day and night. God established day and night, right? So we can work on the day and we can sleep on night. Hence, God created the day and night in day 1. But and day 3, God created a living planet like Earth. But day 4, God created sun. Okay. When day 4, God created sun, and in day 3, well, every time was night. Their day did not exist according with God's biblical God, because as a God, day 3, God created a living planet Earth, and day 1, God created day and night, and day 4, God created sun. Does that make a common sense? When they 3 while God, biblical God created living planet Earth in day 3, and therefore He created sun, then why did He lie that He established day and night on Earth? Doesn't it make sense? Okay. Well, God created a sea creature as a bird. Okay, that's fine. Now God created land animals and finally humans, with both male and female in His image. Now, what about transgender? It doesn't mention in God creation. Okay? Okay. And now, let's see what would happen on it. I would like to off the ceiling fans just for the research. And now see it.
में फजा रखी, और अगर आप नोट करें कि तीसरे दिन खुदा ने खुश्की निकाली है जमीन के ऊपर, यानी कि पानी था सारा जमीन के ऊपर। आप नोट कर रहे हैं इस चीज को कि खुदा ने जमीन और आसमान को जब तख्लीक किया तो पहले जमीन को बनाया है, उसके बाद सूरज चांद सितारे चौथे दिन जाकर बनाए हैं। जबकि आप साइंस के मुताबिक देखेंगे तो वो आपको ये कहेंगे कि बिग बैंग हुआ, एक तबाह कुन एक ब्लास्ट हुआ, और उसके बाद जो है वो सूरज बीच में आ गया, और बाकी जो है ना उसकी जितनी भी ये चीजें थी वो घूमते घूमते गोल हो गई हैं, और वो सारे जो वो सियारे बन गए हैं, सितारे बन गए। तो ऐसा हम बिलीव नहीं करते हैं। खुदा के कलाम के मुताबिक खुदा ने सूरज चांद सितारे चौथे दिन बनाए थे, और जमीन पहले से मौजूद थी। इसलिए अगर आप ये बिलीव कर रहे हैं कि जमीन तेजी से घूमना शुरू हो गई है, तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, और ना ही जमीन घूम रही है। अब हम बात कर लेते हैं तो फिर ये खुदा के कलाम में जो लिखा हुआ है कि दिन घटाए जाएंगे, इसका क्या मतलब है। लेकिन इससे पहले एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज आपको बताना चाहता हूं, जो आप ये सोच रहे होंगे तो
ओके,
दिन रात हमारे हाथों में मोबाइल, फिर ये खुदा के कलाम में जो लिखा हुआ है कि दिन घटाए जाएंगे, इसका क्या मतलब है। लेकिन इससे पहले एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज आपको बताना चाहता हूं, जो आप ये सोच रहे होंगे तो फिर हमें क्यों ऐसा लग रहा है कि दिन तेजी से गुजर रहे हैं, तो उसकी सबसे बड़ी रीजन इंटरनेट है। अजीजों, इस वक्त हम जितना ज्यादा कंटेंट कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं, दिन रात हमारे हाथों में मोबाइल फोन है, इंटरनेट है, जो मर्जी हम सर्च करना चाहें हम सर्च कर सकते हैं, जो मर्जी हम देखना चाहें हम देख सकते हैं, और सारा का सारा कंटेंट अनलिमिटेड है। आप शॉर्ट्स देखने जाएंगे, आप ऊपर स्वाइप अप करते रह जाएंगे, आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा कि कितना टाइम गुजर गया। इसकी मिसाल के तौर पर मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ, फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप अपने किसी दोस्त के साथ पैदल चल रहे हैं और एक स्टॉप से दूसरे स्टॉप तक अगर आप अकेले जाते तो आपको 20 मिनट लगने थे और आपको बहुत थकन भी महसूस होनी थी। लेकिन अगर वही सफर आप अपने किसी अच्छे दोस्त के साथ करते हैं, जिससे आप बातें करते चले जाते हैं, तो आपको अंदाजा भी नहीं लगता है कि वक्त कैसे गुजर गया और आप अपनी मंजिल तक भी पहुंच गए। तो सेम वही इल्यूजन जो है वो इस वक्त हमें हो रही है कि वक्त तेजी से गुजर रहा है। जबकि मैं आपको चैलेंज करता हूं, आप सिर्फ एक दिन के लिए अपने मोबाइल और इंटरनेट को इस्तेमाल ना करें, अपने रोजमर्रा के काम करें। आप देखेंगे, आप बैठ जाएंगे सारे काम करके और आप सोचेंगे अब मैं क्या करूं, वक्त तो गुजर ही नहीं रहा। ये बिल्कुल इसी तरह से होता है जब आपको किसी का इंतजार होता है, उस वक्त भी एक एक जो सेकंड है वो भारी हो जाता है और आपको ऐसे लगने लगता है कि जैसे वक्त गुजर ही नहीं रहा। इसलिए जमीन के तेज तेज घूमने से कोई वक्त तेजी
Okay.
और ना ही मुखालफ मसीह सामने आया है, जिसका मतलब ये कि अभी हम उस टाइम में गए ही नहीं हैं जिसके दिन घटाने की यीशु मसीह बात कर रहे हैं। आगे
Okay. Well.
को कोट किया जाता है, वर्स को कोट किया जाता है, इसका
Okay.
मतलब क्या है वो
Now here time is over to react on this. Okay. Well. Well. Now let's see what is the hypocrisy of Almas Jacob. Well, Shilpa Singh said that from 2019, why we could start believe that our times has been running fast and well, our time is running out as soon as we can see. Well, accordance with Almas Jacob says, while you can see, you can have, but when you can walk along 20 meters walking path, you have after 20 meters you have been stable down. Okay, here is Afghan times. We can see. Well, now let me see what we are saying. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna sayyidullah. Ashhadu anna sayyidullah. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. Okay. Now here we can see here's the overs. And now, well, Almas Jacob say that because of internet, we can see every content on social media we want. Okay. Well, if we are walking 20 minutes path alone, after 20 minutes, we would be, we would feel tired. But when we can walk 20 minutes path with my friends, well, we'll feel energetic that we can walk with my friends and 20 minutes we can we can feel energetic because uh, we are not alone in 20 minutes past. We are with friends in 20 minutes past. We can talk each other. Well, here Almas said the internet is the illusion that we can have every content, we can have every knowledge of from internet we want. Okay. Now you can see that what is Almas Jacob thumbnail. Well, Almas Jacob thumbnails look like just boring and just disgusting. You can see that Almas Jacob content is just boring. Well, as Almas Jacob content is just boring, you can see perhaps it would not be included in the live stream because Almas Jacob erasing the several points of our live streams. As I don't know why. Okay. Well, now I would like to sit on the chairs. Well, I have to have a relax on the pants. Okay, you can have a seat. Okay, and now we can see here is my viewpoints. Okay. Well, and as we can see, well, here is every point. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Well, 1, 2. Well, in last 5 live streaming, we are still roasting Almas Jacob, and every time we can see, Alhamdulillah, some is at 71, 51. As my subscriber 135, well, 71, 51, and some of them 127, 200, 300s. We can see. Well, I am not flexing. Well, I am trying to roast Almas Jacob as is every several parts we want. But now, let's see. Well, now let's have a check. As uploaded there, here we can see every times we have roast Almas Jacob, and every times with every live we can see. But here is uploaded there. But now that would be relatives, as we can see. But what is reality? Well, okay. The reality is that, well, when we can say every time it show Almas Jacob as a relevance, while we are more relevant than Almas Jacob. We are more relevant. Yes. But still, now it is a coincidence that third, fourth. Here is my relevancy in third and fourth ranks. Well, now do you think that I am only one person who roast Almas Jacob? Never. I am not only one person who roast Almas Jacob. Definitely there are several person, I mean the several thousand person is here who roast Almas Jacob. Well, they roast Almas Jacob, hence Almas Jacob contains views. Well, if they have no interest, if the haters of Almas Jacob content no interested to roast Almas Jacob, well, Almas Jacob would contains, well, no views perhaps, as we can see. Well, now, Sunil Pal. According with India, Sunil Pal is most cringe person, but you can see that several in the several points video you can see a video of roaster to roast Sunil Pal. Okay. Now, well, here we can. Now, if you can see Elvis Yadav. Okay. Just 1 minute. I would like to personally Elvis Yadav. Okay. Here we can see Elvis Yadav roast. We can see that there is several YouTubers, I mean the several roasters to roast Elvis Yadav, and they got 1 million views. We have no problems. While we know that Elvis Yadav and Sunil Pal were more toxic than Almas Jacob, and now in my second list, in my list, the third person to be more toxic than Almas Jacob, that is Mukesh Khanna. That is Mukesh Khanna. Okay. As we can see, the Mukesh, well, as we can see, Mukesh Khanna roast. Well, there is several video we can see. There, Mukesh Khanna has been roast. Well, some video, well, in that keyword, the first title, video title is Mukesh Khanna has lost it. Second video title is I'm talking with really rebels. Sorry, Shaktiman. Third Mukesh Khanna roast, in Mukesh Khanna roast keyword, third video is Mukesh Khanna is upset with Shaktiman. Well, now we can say every person, well, okay, Lucifer the innocent. Okay, I would not say that. Oh, now here we can see Tirth Parsana. Well, now I am searching the Tirth Parsana roast. Here we can see that Tirth, the first video was in first video of the relevance YouTuber is Lakshay Chaudhary. Title is the third person roast wannabe devil boy. And the second YouTuber is Thakesh. And the title is the third person roast Chapri wannabe Signama. And the third video YouTuber is Shant Prasad, and the title is third person is the latest internet idiot. Well, and now all of them are all of this video is 10 months earlier, 11 months earlier, well, 9 months earlier, it was like that. But now, let me see here. Okay. But now, let me see. When we are talking about Almas Jacob roasted, well, in this keyword, every relevance video is only with YouTuber Almas Jacob. Well, but that video I was roasting in the current live streaming, we can say that in the current live streaming, Almas Jacob says that internet is just illusions. But what was the reality that when we are talking that now I am a new person. Okay. Well, let me see. As a new person who doesn't know Almas Jacob, it was my first video of Almas Jacob in July 21, calendar 2025. Time is 5 o'clock past 15 minutes. Okay. Afternoon. Well, Almas Jacob video is new to me, and at that time the contents was so irritating that I want to roast Almas Jacob. But guess what? When I want to see that if any person has roast Almas Jacob or not, when the keyword is Almas Jacob roasted, and what we can see, Almas Jacob, there is no key video to roast Almas Jacob, because Almas Jacob is a self-obsessed that in every video, Almas Jacob, you can see in every video Almas Jacob want to be relevant. Now, and there is another person who has not a keyword of Almas Jacob roasted. Their keyword is Almas Jacob roast. But the problem is that Almas Jacob spent money so that, well, this keyword Almas Jacob expose, Almas Jacob roast, Almas Jacob roasted, well, only Almas Jacob would be the relevance. Well, Almas Jacob is obsessed like herself, and if anybody want to prove her wrong, well, with the video and with the live streams, well, as a video, Almas Jacob tries to decrease our engagement on the videos. And now when we are trying to roast Almas Jacob as a live stream, you can see that Almas Jacob sent money that only her video would be relevant on any keyword like Almas Jacob roasted, Almas Jacob exposed, like that. Well, she's obsessed with herself, and now she's teaching us that internet is our only illusions, that we can know every knowledge that we want. Okay. As a supporter of Almas Jacob, do you know that what is the meta concept of gravitation, and do you know how gravitational orbits works? Well, none of supporters of Almas Jacob would know the points. Well, when you have a basic knowledge in class 9 or class 10, you would starting to be hater of Almas Jacob, even if you previously mistakenly the supporter of Almas Jacob. Well, I apologize to say, but that is the truth. Okay? Well, now I would like to say it in the different points. Okay. Here is our points. Okay? Now I have to end my live streams. I don't know what would the supporter of Almas Jacob would do with my live streams. I don't know. Well, I hope that after 52 minutes of live stream, the rest of every live stream would be, it is, here was the points. Okay? Well, let me see. Take care of yourself. Khuda Hafiz. Love you.